Good afternoon, everybody. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create and connect a SendGrid account to your Systems Accelerator Manager account. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to start using email inside of SAM. So it's going to bring us a lot of power. There are some steps that we have to follow. I will note this is a PowerPoint. The reason for that, there's some personal and private information that I just wasn't able to showcase on a live demo. So I went ahead and I extracted it into a PowerPoint. Now, if for some reason you get stuck, feel free and pause the video. You can always rewind. We are going to be moving kind of fast. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So if you're ready, go ahead and visit sendgrid.com. And then on the top right-hand side, you're going to see a button that says click to start free. Now, once we do that, we're going to go ahead and create an account. It's very similar to most account creation. Enter your email, create a password, verify you're not a robot, accept their terms. And then once you've done that, go ahead and create account. That's the blue button at the very bottom. Now, from there, you're going to add some information, including first name, last name, some company details, and your phone number. They are going to send you a text verification in future steps. So you want to make sure this isn't an office number. But once you've done that, go ahead and click get started. And then at that point, I ran into this issue when I was grabbing these screenshots that they wanted a security checkpoint. You may run into it, you may not. So you could possibly get to skip this step. But if so, just re-enter your email and your password, hit continue. Now, from here, this is where that two-factor security check is going to come in. You are going to be sent a code to that phone number that you plugged in earlier. All you have to do is enter that code and then hit continue. We are well on our way. So from here, welcome to SendGrid. Now on the left-hand side, you're going to see a menu. Go and scroll all the way down to the settings tab. And then under the settings tab, you're going to see a area called API keys. Go ahead and click on that API keys. And then on the top right-hand side of that tab, you're going to see create an API. Go ahead and click that button and we're going to get started. So when you create an API, the first thing you need to do is name it. My suggestion is name it after the software that you're going to be using it in. In this case, I used Workflow Secrets. You could use SAM. You could really use any name, but just go ahead and name something. And then we want to select full access. After that, go ahead and click the create and view. So from here, we now have an API key. We are going to want to copy this, and there's a couple things I want you to do. Very quickly, go ahead and paste this to a second location or get a screenshot. The reason for that is as soon as you hit that done button, you are never going to see this API key again. And you'll have to repeat the entire process to get a new one. Kind of a bum deal, but that is what it is. We are going to copy it, and then we're going to take it over to the Systems Accelerator Manager. If you need to log in, go to sam.workflowsecrets.info, log in, and then on the left-hand side under the Integrations tab, you're going to see the SendGrid area. Go ahead and click that drop down, copy paste into that area the API that we just created, and then congratulations, you've successfully added it into SAM. Now from here, we can hop back over to SendGrid and have the relief of clicking the done button. Now, I want to cover a couple things that I did for you guys inside the Systems Accelerator Manager. We went ahead and we created a webhook working with SendGrid to save you some time, truthfully. And if you wanted to look at this, it's found in the settings, under mail settings and webhook settings. But what this does is it allows your email to start reporting inside of your account. So it's going to be able to report things like requests, delivers, open, uniques, clicks, bounces, things like that. Now, the other thing that we did inside the Systems Accelerator Manager, I also created a webhook inside of SendGrid for your unsubscribe groups. That way, if anyone unsubscribes, it doesn't affect you. This is going to overall lower your chances of any of the emails that you send through the Systems Accelerator Manager being marked as spam. Now, that was the easy part, and I hate to break it to you. I really apologize. This part sucks. It might be the hardest thing you do all week. So go ahead and think about the worst thing you have to do, and let's go ahead and get started. So very first, we need to authenticate your domain. So back on that left-hand side, we're going to go back to the settings. This time we're going to click sender authentication. And then on the screen that appears, we're going to click authenticate your domain. From there, you need to find a couple of pieces of information. We need to add what's called a DNS host. If you're not sure what that is, click I'm not sure, but typically speaking, this is going to be the provider of your website. If you don't know, click I'm not sure. The system will try to figure it out. If you do know, awesome. After that, keep the branding set to no and then click next. Now from here, you need to add your domain. I've got some bad news. If you made it this far, it's not going to work for anything other than personal domains. So if at the end of your email, you have @ and it says gmail.com or yahoo.com or kw.com, it's not going to work. The reason for that is you are going to have to plug in some information on the back end, and big companies like that aren't going to help you facilitate that. Other than that, click next. Now we are going to start setting up our authentication. So some of your domain hosts can be connected. If, for say, you have GoDaddy, you can hit this connect button. This is like a best case scenario, and SendGrid will actually start to automatically connect that. If not, what you're going to have to do is manually add these records. And this is exactly why those @Gmails or @Yahoos aren't going to work, is because what you need to do is you need to grab each of these pieces of information, each type, each host, each value, and then you need to add these records inside of your website's DNS. You're going to go ahead, you're going to grab these pieces of information. If at this point you find yourself going, Cody, I don't do that. That's not me. But maybe you have a tech team in your group, in your team, in your brokerage. That's awesome. So if that's the case, you can go ahead and click the third button, send to a coworker. Now, when we click that send to a coworker, all we need to do is add their email, click the send button. It's going to send all of those details. They'll know exactly where to put it. Once you have that, we are 1/3 of the way done with the hard part. Now, what we need to do is we need to add a single sender verification. This is going to be the email address that we are working with. So click that verify a single sender. It should be the next box down. Go ahead and add the from sender name. This is most likely going to be your name or the account name. Perhaps it's a marketing account. And then add the from email address, reply to email, add the company address. And then the nickname is just for your reference, but go ahead and fill that in. Once you've created this, an email is actually going to be sent to your inbox to verify. So you're going to want to hop over there, verify, and it's going to be good to go. Here's the rub. We could charge you guys to do this. Some companies are charging to do it for you, but you still have to add all of those pieces. This way, now you not only have a SendGrid account, and you can see all these stats, but say you don't want to stay with Sam, or say you need this data for something else, it's in your hands and you have that power. The last thing we need to do is link branding. So it's the very third one. Click that brand your link, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So from here, you need to add your DNS host again, and then click next. The next screen is going to be adding your domain. Go ahead and add your domain and then click next. So from here, proceed to your web host. You need to add each type, host, value, and then after that, on the SendGrid site, check that I've added these records and then click verify. Once we do that, if you need to, you can still tag team, send it to a coworker. Once you've done that, it's going to give you a notice that says it worked. Now, if we have done this all correct, this is what it should look like. On the status, it should have verified for all 3 of these areas. And from there, we are successful. That is how you guys set up a SendGrid account. That's how you include it into your Systems Accelerator Manager account through the API. And that is also how you verify all your URLs. So hopefully this was super helpful. Like I said, I'm moving kind of fast through it, but if you need to rewatch this, pause it, go through step by step, and I will see you in the next video.